In this last exercise of the chapter, we're going to use arrays to store random values, and then we're going to find the minimum and maximum of those random values. And in this case, the values will be numbers. So we're going to look for the minimum number in an array and the maximum number in an array. So let's get started. We're going to call this program minmax.rb. So we start off by creating a blank array. One way to do it. Now we're going to populate it with random numbers. The method rand from the random class will create a random number with a maximum given by the argument, starting at 0. So here I'm saying I want a maximum number from 0 to 1 less than the number given, 101. So this is going to give me a random number from 0 to 100. Now let's try to find the maximum value. The way we do that is that we just arbitrarily assign the first element of the array to be a maximum value. Then we're going to loop through the rest of the array, and if any number is greater than the number we've stored in the maximum variable, then we're going to replace it with that element. Before I do that, though, I'm going to display the array just so we'll see what our values are, and then a new line. So here I'm assigning the first element to be our maximum value. Here I'm going to check to see if the next element, starting at 1, is greater than the maximum value. And if so, then we're going to assign that element to our max. Then we just loop through all the elements of the array, and what should be left will be our maximum value. Let's see if that's true. So let's save and run the program, and then we'll come back and do the minimum value. So here's our array values: 82, 68, 71, 55, 63, 9, 20, 80, 72, and 89, and the maximum value is indeed 89. Let's run it again. 32, 98, 15, 51, 96, 35, 92, 0, 92, 34, and the maximum is indeed 98. Now let's go back and figure out what the minimum value is. Of course, I could do this in the same loop, but we'll write a second loop just to make it easier to follow the program. This time we check to see if the current element is less than min, and if so, then assign that element to min. Otherwise, keep looping. There we go. So let's save the program. Go back to our command prompt. Let's clear the screen. So this time the minimum value is 0 out of that list, and you can see that's true. Let's run it again. This time the minimum value is 20, the maximum value is 80, which is correct. And let's run it one more time. And here we have maximum value of 86, which is the first element, and the minimum value is 7. So again, to find the minimum and maximum values, just assign the first element of the array as either the minimum or the maximum, and then loop through the rest of the array, exchanging elements if you need to. It's a very simple process for finding minimum and maximum. And we also in this lesson learned how to generate random numbers by using the random.rand method and by providing an argument that is one more than the upper bound of the range that we want. So that if we provide 101, for example, as the argument, we'll get a random number in the range of 0 through 100. So that wraps up this exercise, and that wraps up this chapter.